Hi everyone, and thank you very much for joining me today. I'm Raymondo Lee, and today I'm just going to run this little podcast just telling you all about our holiday in Salou and what you can sort of expect if you go there at the same time of year as we did. And hopefully you've seen all of our playlists. If you haven't, please check out our playlist. I'll link it now. So there it is, the link for you to go and check it out. I'll also be linking it at the end. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be absolutely fantastic. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, thank you very much for being very supportive. I don't get the watch hours that a lot of others do, but we are making progress towards that magic 4,000 hours we need to monetize. I think we're a couple of months away from it, maybe. I've had a really good couple of months. So yeah, we are making good progress. So we'll start off, guys, with the flight. So we flew with TUI, and got to say, fantastic, really. We were actually really quick at getting to the resort of Salou. The flight was early. We were 20 minutes early landing. Can't fault it at all, really. The distance from Rias to Salou is, it's less than 30 minutes. It's really close. Our hotel that we stopped at, which was the Villa Romana, was only our second stop. So PortAventura was the first place. So yeah, we were at the hotel really quick. We were there too early, actually. We couldn't check in, so we went and had a drink at Linda's bar. We then went back to the hotel and was allocated a room. We had a fantastic room, great views around the pool. If you watch the Villa Romana walk around that I did, you'll see what it looks like. Can't really complain about that place, to be honest. We went to October half term, so it was warm. It was low 20s all the time we were there. Bit cold for the pool for us, but the kids loved it. They didn't stop them at all. It does have a few slides around the side. The kids love that as well. But yeah, all in all, it was fine. Didn't really have any complaints with the food. I think some of the food off the grill I was a bit dubious about because I don't like food unless it's really well cooked. So some of it to me was probably not as well cooked as I'd like to have been. So I just skipped those items, and I always had there was a lot of different fresh food choices. So yeah, if you watch that upload, you'll see. It was actually really good. I actually really enjoyed the hotel. For the price we paid for it as well, we couldn't complain. So yeah. As for the distance to the beach, if that's what you're interested in, I would say, again, it isn't that far. It's a 10-15 minute walk. So, it isn't that far, honestly. There's lots of bars around as well, so there's plenty of places to go for drinks. So, yeah, if you're a family, I think it's a fantastic place, to be honest. A fantastic hotel to stay. So, if you've seen some other uploads, we did a walk around Salou, going down to the harbour, and then we did another one going up to the Carrier de Colon, where the restaurants are, to the top end of Salou. So, again, definitely, a lot to see and quite a lot of walking that you can do. Moving on from that, we went down at night time to watch the fountains. There are two lots of fountains. I've had somebody ask me about that. There are two lots of fountains. One set of fountains, absolutely fantastic, and another one is up the top end of town, and it's not so good. It's a bit more like classical music, and we didn't really enjoy it as much as the main fountain show down near the harbour. So if you go into Salou and you want to see the fountain show, I definitely recommend that one. It's down the bottom end near the harbour. So what else did we do while we were there? So we did a walk up to Puntetto Rojo. So sorry if I've spelled that wrong. There's a viewpoint there, and a boardwalk. So if you walk up to the top end of Salou, the northern side of Salou, you'll see the boardwalk, and if you keep on walking along that boardwalk, there's a way up the side of the cliffs and a viewpoint at the top. So that's well worth a walk up. So that was another walk that we did. thoroughly enjoyed it. So another one of my popular uploads, which people have wanted to see, was some of the places we ate out. Now, as you know, we were half board on this holiday. This is because it was such a cheap price, we could not turn down the half board. We don't normally do this. We normally go bed and breakfast or we go self-catering. But on this occasion, we decided to go half board because it wasn't much extra, like I've just said. But we still managed to get a chance to eat out at a few places. So the first place we stopped at was Linda's Bar. We only had one chance to go there, to be honest. It was pretty much the last day for them. So we did get a little bit worried, I've got to admit, because this was the first day of half term for us. And we were a bit worried, thinking if they're shutting down, then everywhere's going to be shutting down. But it turned out it was just Linda's that was shutting down. But we didn't have a lot there, but we enjoyed what we had. So we couldn't really complain about that. One of our favourite ones was going to the Fox and Hounds. Absolutely amazing place. The owner is an amazing guy. He's actually in the Salou forum on Facebook. So he is quite interactive. The curries that they do there, brilliant. The staff really friendly. Couldn't fault it. We went there a few times. Had a few different curries from there. And pizzas, they were actually really good. The pizzas there. Another place we went to was Dave's place, called Famous Dave's. To be honest, a little bit disappointed with that one. We went there and had loaded fries, and it was lunchtime, and I forgot to be honest, the loaded fries were really dry, not very nice at all. However, I have to say this because it needs to be said. The staff there were really nice, and the reviews at Famous Dave's are really good. So don't let my one experience put you off. You might go there and love it, and it might be fantastic. But for us, I think we just timed it wrong, the wrong time of day. I could have complained and demanded fresh, but to be honest, we were tired. We'd been out for a while, and we just wanted to get going, so we didn't in the end. But the staff were lovely, and I'm sure on its day, it's a really good restaurant. So don't let my experience put you off on that one. Now the next one, which is actually the other company that's owned by the same person as the Dave's, is the Roadhouse. Now, if you've done your research on Salou, you will know that the Roadhouse is probably one of the most popular places to eat, and it's rightly so that it's the most popular place to eat, because the food in there is actually fantastic. You have to book it, guys, so if you're thinking of going there, don't just roll up thinking you're going to get a seat. You're not going to get a seat unless you book it in advance. We contacted them on Facebook and booked a table, and it was absolutely no problem at all. So if you want to go there, then please make sure you book in advance. It's called the Roadhouse. The food there is absolutely amazing. The burgers were some of the best we've had in a long time. So highly recommend it. So my two top recommendations. Now this is not for everyone. Number one is the Roadhouse, and for me personally, number two was the Fox and Hounds. They're the two that we enjoyed going to. Like I say, we didn't go to many. I think we did another one called the Robin Hood as well, but we didn't have a lot in the Robin Hood. We just had a snack, really. I think I had sausage baguette with some onions. But yeah, so number one, definitely Roadhouse. Make sure you book it in advance. And then number two, the Fox and Hounds. When we were there, we didn't need to book, was able to get a table. So yeah, that's the food side of Salou, our experience. Obviously, there's loads of restaurants and loads of bars that you can eat and drink at. But we spent, and we went to a lot of different small bars to have a drink. But predominantly for food, because we were half board, we ate in the hotel. So yeah, that wraps up the food side of our week and a half in Salou. Okay, so next up on the itinerary of what we did in Salou. So we booked a PortAventura 2-day pass, which was to get us into PortAventura World and also to get us into Ferrari Land. We spent the whole first day in PortAventura, and I've got to say, we went there, it was Halloween week. It's definitely a place to go for Halloween week. It's absolutely amazing. They have lots of stuff happening during the day. There is people dressed up as different characters. Our favourite was Adam's Family, and you might see there's a photo of my son with Wednesday, which was just brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. They were all lovely people as well, and I couldn't fault the staff there. Everyone was so friendly, so nice, and the theme park rides, well, they're just out of this world, guys. They're just out of this world. There's some absolutely amazing ones there, and I think, and I've said this to another YouTuber who has done a lot of different theme parks. We've done quite a few, but I think this couple have done a hell of a lot more than us. And we would definitely say that PortAventura probably holds one of the best adrenaline rides in Europe. So the ride itself is called Shambhala, and I think it's the only time I've ever looked at a theme park ride and thought, I don't know if I can do this. I really doubted whether I could do it, but I wasn't going to let it beat me. So I queued up for the ride and went on it. And I'm glad I did. And I was absolutely terrified. And I'm not afraid to say that I was absolutely terrified. But it was fantastic. And I got Lewis filming me coming through the section where water sprays up in the air. He did actually catch me, but you can't hardly tell it's me, to be honest. It's that fast. But yeah, there's lots of rides for kids as well, so don't think that it's just adult adrenaline rides. It's not. There's lots of rides there, and the kids thoroughly enjoyed themselves and absolutely loved it, and they were grinning from ear to ear all day. So yeah, Ferrari World, that's got a few rides. One particular adrenaline junkie ride. It's also worth a visit, but you'll only be there for a few hours, I think, personally, before you head back into PortAventura World. Oh, and I've got to also point out that the food in PortAventura World was reasonably priced. I had a large hot dog and a large beer, massive beer. I think it was like €10. So, I mean, brilliant prices. So yeah, we had no problems buying food and drinks in there. It was definitely worth it. Maybe that's because I'm used to Disney World prices and they're a lot more expensive. And Alton Towers is actually quite expensive now compared to what it used to be as well. If you're from the UK, you'll know what Alton Towers is, and you'll have done all the rides there. And PortAventura's got a really good wooden roller coaster. It's actually got two wooden roller coasters. One that's got two roller coasters that are like a blue and a red one, which are together, which is brilliant. We did that a few times. In fact, I think even Jasmine did that one. Did that one about 5 or 6 times. And then there's one next door to it, a slightly smaller one, and not as fast. And I actually filmed on that one. So if you check out my videos, you'll find that I actually had a front row seat and filmed it. But a lot of the rides you can't film, you're not allowed to film on. So yeah, so I didn't actually show us doing that many rides. So yeah, definitely get the PortAventura ticket. If you're in Salou, it would make sense for you to do it and do the 2 days, or just do a day, whatever you choose. Really, it's you're going to get a good value day out, in my opinion. So, moving on from that, we did a trip to Cambrils. So what we did, we walked all the way to Cambrils on foot. We walked down the railway line, the old railway line, shall I say, not new railway line. We walked down the old railway line. We did some geocaches, because you may or may not know, my channel name actually says it, but we are geocachers and we do geocaching. So we actually went to Cambrils and we walked it. We had a beautiful day. We had a walk around the new town part on the seafront, and then we walked up to the old town, and up in the old town we did an adventure lab up there. It's called an adventure lab, so if you're not into geocaching, basically it's like a GPS game where you don't actually physically find things. It's all done on your phone. It's like a puzzle game, but it's part of geocaching. And we walked up to the old part of Cambrils and had a fantastic day. We then caught the bus back, the planer bus. So if you're curious about the buses, then please watch that upload of Cambrils, because I do explain the buses at the end of the upload and what you need to do. You can't really get on the planer bus and pay in cash. The bus drivers can be really awkward about it. They want you to use what's called a planer card. It's like a card that you have to buy. You'll see lots of kiosks around that say planer on them. If you go into one of those, you can buy the planer card. And I can't remember how much it was now. It was less than €2 a ticket. And you can buy up as many as you want. So I think we put 10 or 20 on our card. And it enabled us to get the bus around to different places. So you're better off doing that. Some bus drivers will be nice and they will accept cash. But we witnessed it personally where some people got on the bus and the bus driver said, no cash, card only. And he wouldn't let them on. And then a bit further down the road, they let somebody on who paid cash. So just bear that in mind. You might be better off getting the planer card. Don't rely on cash as the way of paying. Bit strange, I know, but I say we went to, following on from that, we went to Tarragona. And we caught the bus to Tarragona. And we had a couple stood with us at the bus stop, and they'd only got cash. And we said, they might not accept your cash. You need to be aware of this, because we'd witnessed where a driver wouldn't accept cash. And in this case, he accepted cash. So don't take what I say gospel, but you might be safer buying the planer card. I will explain that in the upload from Cambrils, and I also explain that in the upload from Tarragona as well on our day trip out. So I hope you're enjoying this, and I'll just give you a little bit of a break before I move on to Tarragona. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me again. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. Whether you're thinking about going to Tarragona or not, I don't know, but it is definitely worth visiting if you're staying in Salou. So we'll just talk about Tarragona. So, as I explained, we got the bus into Tarragona, but we actually got a different form of transportation back. I'll explain that later on. So we arrived in Tarragona from the coach, which took about 45 minutes. It was 45 minutes to an hour, I can't exactly remember. But it drops you off at the bus station, which is right in the centre where the main roundabout is in Tarragona. And I will show it you. If you watch the upload, you'll see where the bus station is. So from there, you can walk all the way down it's like a Ramblers, all the way down to the bottom. But what we did, we walked down and we checked out the various things that were down there, the fountains and the statues, which were all absolutely amazing and worth your time to look at. But then we diverted off slightly to the Meerkat. So what the Meerkat is a big indoor market, and the building really stands out. It's quite amazing to see. So we had a walk through there, and again was doing an adventure lab. So we enjoyed doing that while we were walking around the market. The pastries were absolutely amazing in there. So if you get a chance and you want a pastry, go in there. And there's a stall there that sells pastries, amazing. So we did that. We came out the other end. We then went back to the Ramblers area, the main road, the main path that's pedestrianised, that takes you all the way down to the bottom where the Colosseum is. And we stopped at McDonald's for food. Now, yeah, a lot of people will go to Tarragona and say, you don't go to McDonald's, you go somewhere else. But it was convenient for us with the kids because our kids, are not mega fussy, but my daughter's she is quite fussy, I'll admit. But it's just easy and convenient. Anyway, I had a meal deal and I got a beer with it. So I was happy. The kids were happy with what they had. And we even had a McFlurry each. So couldn't fault it. So yeah, we did that. And then we went up to the old town. Now, this is where, for us, things got slightly interesting. So there's a building you can go to, which is near like the town hall, and in that building there is a model city, and it shows you what Tarragona used to look like, and that's free. You can go in there for free. You don't pay a penny. It's definitely worth it if you're in Tarragona to go and check it out. So we did that, and that was free. We then wanted to do the walled garden, which takes you around a section of the old wall of the old part of the city. Because, as you can imagine, it was a fortified city. So, as we got round there, we found that we didn't have to pay. Because we'd got the PortAventura tickets that were still valid. Because we'd actually gone there in between our 2-day ticket. So with that, we were able to get into the walled garden, which is beautiful, by the way. You should highly recommend it you do it. And then we went down to where the fort is, and we got free entry into there as well. So we're very surprised that we got free entry into both places. We walked into the tunnels, which are fantastic, and then you get to go to the top of the tower and see the views from the top. And you get to see Tarragona, the coastline, and the Colosseum from there. So after that, we had to walk down to the Colosseum to check it out. We didn't get time to go in. It was running really late. We'd been there all day. And then we got the train back to PortAventura, which is the last stop. And we got the last train back. And it wasn't busy at all. And then from there, it was a 10 to 15 minute walk back to the hotel. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed the day in Tarragona and highly recommend it. And like I say, watch the video if you want to check out the plane and bus and the train journey. And then basically, just to wrap up, we had some time around the beach, which we thoroughly enjoyed. And that was it, guys. Pretty much every day we were busy doing something, walking somewhere, and having lots of fun. And we did loads of adventure labs and geocaches as well. So really happy. And yeah, highly recommend Salou if you want to go somewhere new and you want to go and see old cities, old towns, and a theme park that's amazing. And also, obviously, the one thing I've not mentioned is Barcelona. I've been to Barcelona many times, so been there, done that. And we were gonna go for the day, but we changed his mind in the end, and we didn't bother. So yeah, highly recommend that you go and check out Barcelona. And I'd just like to say that we did a walk to La Pineda. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I don't think I have actually. Yeah, we did a walk to La Pineda, and we started at the Romana Hotel, and I've done a video of it, and I've showed you how to do the walk, the quickest route to La Pineda. We had a walk down the seafront to the beach, and then we walked back into Salou. I didn't record the final section walking back because you may know me and you may not. I know some people know me, Roman and Raymond. They've met me personally, and I'm a chatty person. So, and I'm quite a social person. If I bump into people, generally I will talk to them. And we met this absolutely lovely family in La Pineda, just outside of La Pineda, actually on the way back to Salou. We got talking, about this and that, just about holidays in general and the hotel that we're stopping in. And we basically walked all the way back to Salou with them, chatting. And obviously I never recorded anything. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know I got a YouTube channel. Never discussed it with them. But we just had really friendly chat and quite enjoyed ourselves talking. So yeah, lovely people. Wish we'd been at the same hotel and we could have spent more time with them. But unfortunately, we didn't, and we were extremely tired. We'd had a long day that day. A lot of steps. So yeah, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been slightly insightful and gives you some idea of the experience of going to Salou. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll try my best to answer them. And I just want to say thank you. If you've listened to me waffling on all this time, I do appreciate it. And please remember, if you're new here, to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. That would be awesome. Thank you, and goodbye.